part 1, we discussed how to get pre-approved and determining your shopping budget. Now it's time for the fun part, looking at homes. Although the experience of owning your first home can be fulfilling and exciting, the actual financing and buying process can be overwhelming. From choosing the right neighborhood for your lifestyle to reviewing your financing options, there are a lot of important decisions that you need to make to buy a home. I hope that understanding the process will bring you some peace of mind. A real estate agent can be a great asset in helping you find the right home. Real estate agents generally have access to home sale listings that you may not be able to access on your own. A real estate agent will help you by reviewing your wish list and researching potential homes, making arrangements to show the homes that fit your requirements, researching neighborhoods, schools, tax rates, if there are HOA dues, etc. Once you decide on a home, they will help you negotiate a purchase price and make the offer. This is important because the seller wants to get the maximum amount for their home, while you want to pay the lowest cost possible. They will also help facilitate the home inspection. And again, it's important that we let your agent know your loan options because some properties will not be suitable for certain loans. The house hunting stage can be fun and exciting, but it's important to keep your priorities in mind when evaluating potential homes. When thinking about the neighborhood, what's important to you? Is the school district important? How far of a commute will you have for work? Do you want to be close to supermarkets, shopping, or to leisure activities? When thinking about the property itself, what is important? How many bedrooms and bathrooms do you need? Is a garage important? Do you want a big yard or a low-maintenance property? Are you willing to buy a fixer-upper? With a renovation loan, you can include the cost of improvements in the financing. Do your best to be realistic. This is your first home, and buying it will allow you to get started with an investment in an appreciating asset you can later leverage to upsize. What can you afford now, and what can you put off till later? Once you find the property you want to make an offer on, your realtor will help determine the appropriate offer and draft up the purchase and sales, also known as the buy-sell agreement, which will document the details of the transaction between you and the seller. The seller's disclosure requires the seller to openly admit to any known deficiencies and potential problems regarding the property and home. It's a common practice to add a financial contingency to a purchase and sales agreement that states, should you not be able to obtain financing by a certain date, you have the option to cancel the contract to purchase the home and get the earnest money back. An inspection contingency states that should your home inspector determine the house has problems that you don't want to accept, the contract may also be canceled and the earnest money refunded, as well as an appraisal contingency, which will state the amount the home will need to appraise for. Again, if it does not come into for the value, you can cancel the contract, but it can also be used as a renegotiation tool of the purchase price. If both parties come to agreeable terms, the contract is signed by all, and you will need to give an earnest money deposit. The earnest money will be held by the title company until closing, unless the contract gets canceled. Keep in mind, as we discussed in part 1, the lender will need a paper trail of where the earnest money came from. Once the seller accepts your offer, the signed documents and earnest money will go to the title company for them to begin their part of the process. Once I receive a copy of the contract, we will assemble all the loan documents, which will include a loan estimate, and those will be sent to you electronically. We will go through all of those in detail so that you can sign in order for the process to continue. At that point, the appraisal will be ordered. We will get any updated documentation necessary and get the file into the underwriting department. I'm going to touch briefly on interest rates here. Although I'm sure you understand the importance of the rate, market interest rates constantly change based on how mortgage-backed securities are trading, and your available rate is also affected by your credit score, the property type, the loan type, etc. Because of how individualized they are, we will deep dive on rates during the pre-approval process and again when the contract is received. I will take a moment here to explain the difference in interest rate and annual percentage rate, or APR, as you will see both on worksheets and loan documents. The interest rate is the amount calculated on the principal balance of the loan throughout the term. The APR takes that amount and adds in other loan costs, such as mortgage insurance, certain closing costs, etc., and then expresses that as a percentage to reflect an annual cost of the loan. It's designed to help you have a better view of how expensive the loan will be, but it can fluctuate based on a number of factors. While I'm moving your loan forward, your realtor will help you set up a home inspection. This isn't required, but it is highly recommended. It can reveal critical information about the condition of a home. The home inspector works for you and is there to go through the home with a fine-tooth comb to help uncover possible issues. This is different from the appraiser, who is hired by the lender to confirm market value of the property. On government loans, the appraiser does have more boxes to check regarding property condition that can come into play. A home inspection will help you have an idea of items that might need to be replaced or repaired in the near future. It may uncover a deal breaker, like a foundational issue or an addition that wasn't properly completed. It can also be a negotiating tool if it comes back with items that your realtor can work with the seller to see if they can get corrected ahead of time, or if you can negotiate a price break to cover the work that will be needed. Ultimately, it's for your protection, so the home doesn't require major repairs that you don't anticipate. It's finally time. The appraisal's back, the home inspection is done, the file is out of underwriting, and clear to close. You will receive a closing disclosure at least 3 days prior to the signing date. Documents will be drawn up, and the lender and title will balance numbers. Your funds to close will need to be transferred to title. You will need to either wire the funds or take a cashier's check. You will sign the documents, usually at the title company. The loan is funded and recorded with the county. You receive the keys, and it's time to move in. One last thing to mention here, in Montana, we are able to file a homestead declaration on our primary residence. It can help you protect your equity from creditors. The title company will prepare it for you to sign at closing, but it will need to be requested. We'll be sure to go through this more in detail as you get closer to closing. I hope this was helpful. Please reach out with any questions, and I look forward to guiding you in your home buying journey.